it, but you were a child when you did it. You know, what did you think about meeting? There's all those famous British actors and actresses. How was that for you?
It was really cool. At the time, I was 9, so I really only knew who Hugh Grant was because I saw like About a Boy and stuff like that. But everyone was super, super nice to me, and it was a really big learning experience. I remember Emma Thompson was doing her crying scene, and me and the 2 other little girls, like Lulu Popplewell and this other girl, we were sitting watching her do this crying scene, and I'm like, how do you cry on command? And she kind of like took me through a walk-by of that. So it was really cool and interesting to like, you know, be with such big names for the first role I've ever done in my life. So.
Well, I also heard that they actually said you sang too well for that movie. Is that?
It's slightly true. Me and my dad flew to London to do the song in the studio, and they blocked out 2 days of studio time. And my dad kind of told the director, Richard Curtis, he goes, I don't think she needs 2 days. Like, we'll be able to get it today. And so I went into the booth, and they're like, all right, well, let's just, you know, let's do a warm-up round. And my dad goes, record the warm-up. And they're like, are you sure? She doesn't need to, like, record the warm-up. So I did it, and they kind of like, okay, Olivia, that was great, hold on, and like muted it so I couldn't hear what they were saying. And I was just kind of sitting there for 10 minutes. And then they said, okay, why don't you come back? And they said, look, can you not sing so good? They said, it sounds great, we want you to be great, but maybe just, you know, tone it down on the trills or something. They're like, it's going to be too unbelievable that this is an actual 9-year-old girl that's singing. So I went back in there and I sang it 1 through more straight, and then they ended up just using that second take.
And then that's going to segue me into our cartoons, because I also read that the love interest, or whatever you want to call it for little kids, in Love Actually is Ferb.
Totally by random. I didn't even know that it was him when we were working on the show until Swampy said to me, he goes, oh yeah, so have you talked to Thomas Sangster recently? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, you know that he's Ferb, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I haven't seen him recently, but we have talked on the phone and stuff and just kind of laughed about the situation because it's pretty weird.
So then he does all his in England, and then you do yours here?
Yes. No, I do it in
California. Not in Atlanta, but in the U.S.
Yes.
Okay. And I know y'all have lots of Adventure Time questions, and I'm not as big of an Adventure Time fan, sorry. Love Phineas and Ferb. Adventure Time.
Everybody boo.
Adventure Time, I just don't get it. I'm sorry. But we are going to take questions. If, you know, we have limited space, but if you will make it easy for our question person, then line up in about the second row back, going down the middle, and we will get through as many of them as we can. So if you have a question you want to ask Olivia, we do ask that you let the kids go first because we are a kids track. So give them a few minutes to kind of get their thoughts and their questions together, and then, you know, parents, you can sure join in. Or kids, big kids without little kids. Either way. Kid at heart. There we go. That's the word. All right.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you what your favorite episode of Adventure Time was.
Probably when they cast my dad to play the Lord of Evil, and so he got to come in to the booth and see kind of firsthand. He never saw what I did as a voice actor, really, so it was fun being able to play with my dad, and it was definitely cool. I think we only got one question.
That's fine. If the kids don't jump up, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to ask, is Marceline's voice, is it like really close to your normal speaking voice, or do you have to kind of work hard at it? And how is that? Like, it's like flexing a muscle, or?
I don't know. Okay, I think that it's my regular speaking voice, but if I ever tell somebody that I do the voice where they go, oh, no, that's not you. It sounds nothing like you. And I'm like, really? Like, well, you gotta talk like this. Blah, blah, blah. So I guess when I'm in the booth and kind of like reading the script, maybe I seem more like animated, I guess. But it's pretty similar until I have to turn into a demon, and then I'm like, rah!
What's your favorite line from Vanessa and Marceline?
I don't know about Vanessa, but maybe from Marceline, like the calm down, weenies.
What's your favorite song you sung on Adventure Time?
I'm Just Your Problem. Yes. We got a Marceline.
So I've heard rumors that you and your dad are going to be making an Adventure Time album of like Marceline songs. I was wondering if that was true, and if it is, if you have any information you could share with us about it.
I can share with you what we're trying to do, but it's definitely not been something that's been greenlit. This is kind of just what I've been bothering Penn Ward to do, because we were gonna do a CD, and I'm just like, yo, okay, in the episode Marceline's Closet, she has a journal that she writes in every day and basically records her songs of her trials and tribulations. So I was like, how cool would that be if, you know, they came out with like the CD that, you know, of Marceline's journal entries. So I'm hoping that happens, but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
When did you first start in voice acting? Like, who was your first character that you did? I was curious.
Vanessa Doofenshmirtz. I just got lucky enough that my really good family friends got this new show picked up, and they had known me since I was a little kid and knew that I was a singer and an actress, and they're like, oh, well, you know, let's bring Olivia in for this role. So I just got really lucky to be able to like know the right people and have an outlet for something that I didn't even know I would love to do so much. So
Do you play any instruments, and if so, what's your favorite to play?
I play a few. Definitely like the piano the most. It comes the easiest to me. I've been trying to play guitar for like the past 5 years, but it's not very good. And I used to play the flutophone, and it was fun.
So I was wondering, there's the episode where you and the Ice King as Simon kind of go back, and it's kind of heartbreaking. So I was kind of wondering,
Kind of heartbreaking.
yeah, if there's more of that to come, or how that episode was for you to do.
I don't know if there's more to come, because they don't tell us ahead of time about the scripts and stuff like that, but they will be doing more backstory for Marceline and for Simon and stuff, so it'll be interesting. You gotta keep watching. But what was the other half of the question?
How it was for you to do that episode?
Oh, it was so fun because Tom Kenny, who's a crazy, wacky genius of voice acting, I've known him too since I was a little kid. I sang at his wedding. He used to actually babysit me and my brother when we were kids, so it was kind of funny to be like, the land of Ooh is like mimicking real life in this weird sense, and then it was also awesome because Tom Kenny, he's like up here for voice actors, you know, and the way I see it, I'm, you know, way down here, like in the basement. But so he had to do the song where we were singing together, and he was just like, oh God, I'm I'm not a singer, like what am I gonna do? So I actually had to sit there and kind of feed him the melody, and like I would sing it and then he would copy me, and I would sing it and he would copy me line by line. So it was really cool just to be like, I can one-up you on something. Tom Petty. So.
Hello. How big of a part do you have to play in the musical direction of the show, and what's that process like?
Well, not for Adventure Time.
Sure.
Okay, for Adventure Time, they send me a little CD, and I have to learn it and pretty much go in, and it's different because my natural singing voice is actually a little bit different than Marceline's, because I'm singing kind of in this character who's like this rocker chick, and me, I like to sing like blues, R&B, like soulful kind of stuff. So it kind of was the same thing of like taking it back and kind of realizing that I was singing as somebody else that wasn't me. But besides that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward the way that, I mean, Rebecca Sugar writes most of the songs for Marceline, and she'll hop off whatever she's doing in the writer's room, and she'll come into the booth and just like sit there and be like, okay, this is how I want you to sing this line like this, and like really is very like meticulous about the way that it needs to be, because I'm not singing as myself. If it was just myself, I could go in there and do whatever I want and it would be great, but it's a little strange.
Before we move on, just a second. Yesterday in the Anvil Chicks panel, you talked about the Phineas and Ferb and how it was different. Can you touch on that? Because a lot of these people were not here yesterday.
Yeah. For the music-wise,
yes,
I do some songwriting for Phineas and Ferb, which is really cool because it's just like that's my song playing on Disney Channel. It's awesome. So it's definitely been really different, and the music for Phineas and Ferb is done completely different as well. I'm not really there for the creative aspect for Cartoon Network, but on Phineas and Ferb we have this thing called like a 1-hour song. So you get the episode and you go, okay, this is what the song's supposed to be called. We're singing about squirrels and it's gonna be a hip-hop beat, and like you literally have 1 hour to write it, and like that's it. So it's really cool and it's like challenging, and my dad is also a writer on Phineas and Ferb as well, so it's been really fun and just weird that I get to work with him so closely on it, and like it's turned into like a daddy-daughter thing.
It's nice you kind of just answered my question. I was about Phineas and Ferb versus Adventure Time versus Love Actually. But did you write I'm Me?
No. I did.
Just, I don't know, any follow-up on the comparison of the three types of recording tracks? And then...
Well, I can elaborate more on just the acting aspect of it, where Phineas and Ferb, I go in and I'm by myself, and it takes sometimes less than 20 minutes to get done with the whole script, because sometimes I have like 2 lines and it's kind of just like in and out and it's really fast. But with Adventure Time, it's really cool because we're all in the room together, and me and Jeremy always say like, you, me, John and Tom and Hinden and everyone in the cast, like in a weird way our personalities and even the way we kind of look sometimes reflects our characters. So when we're all in the booth together and we get to like feed off each other's energy, it's so fun because it's almost as if there's like a live action cosplay of Adventure Time going on in the booth, because we're all just acting it out, together. So it's really cool.
So besides Marceline, who is your favorite character on Adventure Time?
I like LSP. She's so weird.
I got a question.
If you don't ask some, I'll just ask mine.
No question is a dumb question.
Okay. If you were Marceline, what would your favorite thing to do be?
You mean like a hobby or a sport or anything? Okay.
I mean, play my axe bass, duh. No, but I think she's similar to me in that aspect of, like, just wanting to play her music.
Hi, I'd like to ask you what it's like to work with Penn Ward. Is he just so quiet?
Penn is a weird dude. He's awesome. Definitely in the beginning when I was first getting to know Penn, he was a little standoffish towards me, and then he actually ended up telling me that I used to scare the shit out of him, which in a sense is probably why he cast me to play Marceline. I would just be really intense every time I go, "Hey Penn, what's up?" Like, give him a big bear hug, and he's just like, "Oh, okay." Take it back a couple notches. But definitely after, we've been doing the show for 3 years now, we're like a big family, and we've done these cons together and have all these signings out in LA, and it's just, he doesn't actually come to the records though. Sometimes he pops in and out. Kent Osborne directs us for the voice actors, but Penn, he keeps to himself, but then he gets a little liquor in him, and then he's like, his personality just comes pouring out after that.
How do you feel about the relationship between Marceline and the Ice King and Bonneville?
And Bonneville. I mean, for her, okay, gotcha. I mean, her and the Ice King, I thought it was really cool when I first got the script, and I was like, awesome, because I didn't even know that they were going to be doing episodes like that where, they would be doing flashbacks and, really showing where these characters come from, because, she's 1,000 years old, she's got baggage, so it's nice to know. And also, as an actor, it's really nice to be able to get these backstories, and because I always had my theories about why she might be a certain way or where she got her personality from, and it's cool to be able to take that and kind of just okay, so I get it. She's had a rough life, As far as the thing with her and Princess Bubblegum is, the fans are the ones that made this assumption of the relationship and stuff like that, but I don't know. I think that Bonneville, I think she did her dirt in the past or something, because clearly Marceline she's still a little not too fond of Bubblegum. But I think as friends, they're cool, and it's really awesome that in this show they have such cool counterparts. Princess Bubblegum, she's made of sugar, and she's just very light, even though I think she might be evil low-key. And then Marceline is this demon, so I feel all the show just has these weird balances of good and evil and weirdness. So
Hi again.
hello again.
I have 2 questions. First one is, if you had any of the roles besides Marceline, Vanessa, any of them, do you have a dream role?
I mean, I don't know about a particular dream role, anything that was out there that I said, oh, I wish I was, that character. But I would love to, book a show where I was the main person and was more of a Finn and Jake type character, where I'm in every episode and and you just get to be the show. I think that would be really fun, to just to be the star. Everyone goes up and cheer me, oh my god.
My second question is, can I have a hug?
Get over here.
Hi for the second time. Well, I feel in some of the in some like the first episodes, like first year, like there was kind of like a relationship between Finn and Marceline?
Never. Finn is he's too immature for Marceline. She has seen the world. She has been there and back. And Finn is this, and in her eyes, Finn is this little 13-year-old boy who, you know, him and his dog are always getting into trouble and stuff. And Marceline is always there having to, like, you know, save their asses or something. So I don't think that she would ever go for Finn like that.
How invested are you in the character of Marceline? Like, if Marceline did go with Finn, like, would you say, no, that can't happen?
I mean, I have fun with it. I wouldn't say that I would be mad if it happened, because it's a show and, you know, the script is going to go where it wants to, where the writers want it to. And, but I have had moments where I'm just like, really? Like, after the Princess Bubblegum Marceline scandal first broke, the next time I went back there, I'm like, really, guys? Like, come on, you, like, made me, like, go on, like, girls. They're like, we're not saying that. It's not for real. It's not for sure. And I'm just like, whatever you say. And so now me and Hinden always are just like, hey, because we don't even know. Like, I'm sure at some point they're probably gonna prolong it, but they're gonna maybe touch on it some more, hopefully. So.
Hey, so I mean, you're obviously very musical. What's some of your favorite kind of music besides blues? Because you said you like to sing that kind of stuff.
I listen to so much random stuff. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm really into, like, you know, like classic rock to dub stuff and trap music and 90s hip hop and just I'm very eclectic. I like it all. Except I'm not into country music.
My favorite episodes with Entertainer Fiona and Cake. So I want to know what you think about Fiona and Cake, and do you see more Fiona and Cake episodes in the future?
Like I said, I have no idea about I get the script 2 days before we go to record it, so I have no idea about future episodes like that. But I think it's really cool. I was kind of ticked off in the first Fiona and Cake how the Marceline didn't say anything, and I'm just like, I was just like, okay, well, you see him for a split second, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to know, and then the Bad Little Boy episode came out, and I'm like, Childish Gambino is me. I was fangirling, and I didn't even know when I met him. I met him at Comic-Con this year, and I just kind of was like, hey, like, what's up? And like, I didn't even know. He's like, yeah, you know I play Marshall Lee, right? I'm like, no. So, and I didn't even know that was even him, and I was like sitting in the green room there, like humming, like, oh, just because I had it in my head, like stuck in my head that day, and then I'm like, oh my god, I embarrassed myself.
So Marceline is 1,000 years old, but still is very much a teenager in how she acts and, you know, her writing songs from her journal and things like that. How does that inform her character, the way that you created her? Does that make sense?
I mean, the way that I see it, because I definitely know that, I mean, she's very teenage-like, but I feel like, because a lot of times when you are given something like that, you kind of make up your own backstory in your head, and the way I look at it is that she's so old that she's just kind of like bored with being like, not bored with life, but, you know, why take life so seriously and act like a, you know, stuck-up adult when she can just be pranking people and flying around and just playing her guitar and acting how she wants to act. Because I think when people get old, they say, oh, God, I wish I was a teenager again, you know? But if you're immortal, and you look like a teenager and you want to act that way, why not?
While we're waiting for somebody else, and that's fine, you can go get mine. Do you think either one, Vanessa or Marceline, are you more like either one of them in your regular self?
I think I'm more like Marceline than Vanessa. She's just very brooding. She's just always kind of, oh, Dad, you know, like very, very teenage-esque and just kind of hates life sometimes. But I think I'm more like Marceline, to where she kind of has like 1,000 personalities, and I'm sort of that way in a weird way too. I can be serious, or I can be really goofy, or I can get mean. So I think the fact that she is more versatile makes me more like her.
Oh, so I was under the impression that someone else was doing the voice for young Marcy. Is that you?
No, it's not me. It's this young lady by the name of Ava, who is super, super cute. I met her we did this awesome art gallery showing down in downtown where it was all Adventure Time art, and the whole cast came out. This little girl comes up to me dressed like Marceline, and it was probably one of the first times I ever had that happen, where I saw someone dressed up like the character, and I got so excited. I'm like, hi, and I get down on my knees. I'm like, you look so cute. I'm like, you know, I play Marceline. She goes, no, you don't. I play Marceline. And I'm just like, oh, snap. Attitude. But she's really cute and awesome. But yes, Ava is a doll.
I was just wondering, what came first, the animation or the voice? Like, did the voice have an influence on the animation or vice versa?
Like per episode or like in general? Because Marceline wasn't in like the pilot episode or anything like that, so the style of the animation came first, but when it comes to animating each episode, we see the storyboard go across TV screens, so we kind of know what's going on in the moment, and they animate it to our voices, because I think it makes it more authentic that way, because the character really can't come alive without the person behind it who is the character. So, you know, they're not going to know how the body acts until they kind of hear how the voice is talking. So they do the voice first and then animate it to that.
My question is there anything that you're working on beyond Adventure Time, beyond Phineas and Ferb? Basically, do you have any projects? What's the next project?
Well, right now I just released my first EP on iTunes, and so I'm working on a second one, because I released that because I really wanted to get something out that I could sell at Comic-Con, and then it got put on iTunes, and now I'm just working on writing more music, and hopefully at some point, you know, I'll book another voice acting role or something like that, but for right now I'm just working on my music and putting out a second record.
What style of music do you have on your record? Or would you want to have on your, you know?
It's kind of like how I am, just with what I like personally, and just listening to music. I mean, I have so many influences from all different kinds of genres that I don't even know what to even call it. But I mean, yeah, it's pop, it's fun, but you'll hear different styles of, there's jazzy songs, and there's ratchet songs, and there's a bunch of different stuff, so.
Hi. What is your favorite Phineas and Ferb song out of the entire show?
I'd probably say that I've sung, or just in general. I really like doing the ready for the baddies, you know that song? That was fun, because I got to do these kind of weird different voices, and I think anything is really fun that I get to do where it's not Vanessa, because I get to change my voice, and that was cool because I was 3 different people singing in a rock band. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna sing this one with this British accent because that's the way that the actor is doing it, and I'll do this one with just a normal accent. So yeah, I like that one.
I know that for Marceline, you mentioned that you like making up backstories to her. And I feel like the first episode where I was like, okay, I kind of get her, was when Finn was trying to find someone to go to the movies with. And she was like, are you sure you want to get with me? And like she turns into a monster and like breaks all the windows in her house. So it seems like, at least as far as like her love life is concerned, she's kind of like a complicated girl. And I know she's been around for a very long time. So I don't know, I wanted to see what your thoughts were on the backstory of that.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, she was kind of bored with life, so she screws around with people a lot. And I think if she were to ever she dated a loser like Ash, who sold Hambo to a witch, which was not cool. But I think she knows now, because she's lived for so long, that if she was to get involved with anybody else, like, he's got to be like high caliber, just the way that she is. But in the meantime, she can still, give Finn dating advice and stuff, even though it might not be the best, just to screw with him a little.
How far in advance do you guys record the voices before premieres for the public?
It's a while. Sometimes I even forget that we recorded that episode until I see the commercial coming up for it on Cartoon Network, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a fun day. It takes 4 months or something like that. I see a Hambo back there.
It's yours.
Oh, it's mine. Yes.
Will you tell us about your tattoos?
Yeah. Well, this one, it's kind of like an all-seeing eye type thing. It's my favorite artist. His name is Alex Gray. He does a lot of that, kind of, yay! Kind of just very trippy kind of artwork and stuff like that. This one is just 2 roses. My middle name is Rose, so I just love roses. And then of course, this one's not finished, but it is the battle axe. And kind of just I really like tattoos, I don't know, so I'm just kind of adding, and probably gonna fill this in at some point and just keep going. It's more about the artwork than the backstory for me.
Hi again. I just want to ask you something. When you had to sing that song with Daddy, Why Did You Steal My Fries, how did you feel? It's such a random song to me. And also another thing is, when Ice King came to ask you about how to write a song and how she started crying while she was singing, while you were singing that with him, did you feel that same emotions?
Ooh, well, first things first, when I read the first script, the first day I went in and recorded the Eviction Day episode, I was just like, what the heck is this show? Because it's very hard to kind of sit down and you just read these words and it's so random. What are they even talking about, So I kind of thought the same thing when I was like, okay, I'm singing a song about how my dad stole my French fries, and it's very jazzy, and she's all sad about it, he stole $500,000 from her. But I think it just ended up being, having to learn how the show was and how random it was, and when I actually saw the first episodes, and I was like, okay, so it's meant to be super weird and random and stuff like that. For the Remember You song, I was kind of shocked and excited to see such a serious episode happen. Like, besides the little banter of like Finn and Jake being like, what the heck is going on in there, you know? It was a very sad and serious episode, so it was definitely one of those days in the booth of just like trying to channel that in, because I never went into the recording booth like with a somber script and thinking, okay, I have to be serious, because before it would always be so much fun. So I definitely had to flip a switch a little bit there.
Oh, so in the Evicted episode, it's revealed that Marceline marks all over the world an M to show, like, you know, she lives here.
Yeah.
So basically, like, if you could do that, where in the world would you go?
I mean, I really want to travel to so many different places. I haven't been to Hawaii yet, so I would go do a big O in the sand in Hawaii.
If you went to a con, would you dress up? And if you did, what costume?
Well, I have been to a con. Been to a few. I have not dressed up yet, but me and my friends were, I got a bunch of passes to Comic-Con this year, so I brought a bunch of my friends, and we were trying to think of stuff, and I really couldn't think of anything, because yeah, I would probably not be very creative and just dress up like Marceline, but I would probably go to Home Depot and like craft the best battle axe I possibly could. But it's hard, because when I come to these things, like, I'm working. I don't really have a lot of time to go around and walk and see stuff, so I have definitely been taking notes on your guys' costumes, because they're awesome.
Hi. Has there been an episode that you voiced the voice for that came out differently than you expected after you actually saw the episode, since it's so long between you voicing and seeing it?
Oh yeah, I think I'm so annoying when I hear myself talk on the thing. It's really strange, because I think if anyone took out a tape recorder and they're like, oh, I sound like that, like, hearing back the songs and stuff, I'm like, oh, that sounds good, you know? I know what my singing voice sounds like, because I've recorded a bunch and like heard it back, but it's weird listening to yourself, because I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so annoying. But I don't really get shocked by it that much anymore, but I definitely do sometimes. We'll watch an episode, and because I'm always trying to get better and better, I'm so new to voice acting, so I'll listen back to an episode and I'll just be like, oh, that was bad, like I should have done this, or I should have done a bigger growl there, or something like that. That didn't sound believable. Like, I kind of get like on myself a little bit about that stuff, but I think any person that does creative stuff like that will take a look back and want to change something after it's already been out there.
Hello. So in several episodes, they kind of allude to daddy issues with Marceline and her father. And I wanted to know how you felt about that and how it was working with your actual father playing that role.
She definitely has some daddy issues, but I think you would too if your father ruled the Nightosphere. So he finds joy in torturing souls and stuff like that. But Marceline has a little bit of that. She likes to torture people to the point where it's like still fun. But he actually likes to torture people, and yeah, I think she just has lived for so long and knows who her dad is and is just like over it by now, but she still has like some deep-rooted issues. I mean, they haven't touched on the fact where I'm still curious to know, where was Marceline's dad when she was with Simon, you know? So I always think about that's probably where a lot of her resentment towards him stems from, because where was he? Like, basically Simon was her like real dad for a point in time, but Doing it with my real dad is fun though, because I can gladly say I don't have daddy issues like that. I mean, I work really closely with my dad, and it's been awesome, and just really lucky. I mean, between Phineas and Ferb and Adventure Time, I get to work with him so closely that it's gotten our bond even stronger. So we're nothing like Marceline and Hans Mabadier. But he does steal my food out of the fridge. Like, I will, like, literally, he'll come home at like 10 at night. I'll have like pizza that I've been saving, or like ice cream or something that I like specifically went and bought for like the next day. Oh my God, I remember I baked one of my best friends a birthday cake that I was gonna bring to school, and it was clearly a freshly made birthday cake that said "Happy Birthday, Alexa" on it, and like I go the next morning to take it out to give to her, and there's a huge slice out of it, and I'm like, Mom, like, what happened to my cake? She's like, I didn't touch your cake, like why would I do that? And I call my dad, and he's like, oh, like, I didn't know that was, like, you were saving that. I'm like, yes, Dad, I just bake people cakes and write names on them for no reason.
Hi again. One of my favorite episodes is Into the Nightosphere. How was that? And it's a really weird episode. And how was that recording?
It was really fun. Because, you know, Marceline takes the medallion. Well, she doesn't really take it. He kind of gives it to her, but she's like, whatever, and puts it on, and she turns into Hans Nabadier. So it was really cool, because when I became this, like, big demonic beast that is Hans and Abadier, they blended my voice with my dad's voice. So when we recorded the actual episode, you know, I would be screaming, "No one leaves the Nightosphere!" And then he would repeat and mimic everything I said with, like, the articulations and stuff like that. So it was really fun to, like, just kind of banter back and forth with my dad recording that. Yep.
So since we started early, sadly, we have to finish early because she has other commitments and places to go and things to do. But I do want to thank y'all for coming on behalf of Kaleidoscope. And I'm going to kind of finish up the thing here. And I want to know, I know this is your first Dragon Con. What have you thought about our fair city? Well, what you've seen of our fair city, the 5 hotels, and America's Mart. And, you know, like, what was the craziest thing you've seen or that you've had happen? Or have we been treating you nice?
You guys have been treating me so nice. I haven't been able to see much of the city because, you know, from being at the I've seen the convention, I've seen the Walk of Fame, I've seen the booth across from me, but everyone here is so nice, and I mean, I definitely understand where, like, the term Southern hospitality comes from, because everyone that I've been working with out here has just gone above and beyond to make sure that I'm, like, happy and I'm fed and I'm not tired. And besides that, I did go out. I have one friend that lives out here, and we hit the club last night. That was fun. And actually, I saw some people dressed up in Adventure Time gear when I was out partying, so it was really fun, and I was just like, hey, like, you know, I'm Marceline, right? They're like, oh my God, like, I'm at a club with Marceline right now. So I thought that was really fun, because, I mean, when you can just not take yourself seriously, and yeah, I'll dance with you, like, let's do it. So, but I haven't really seen much besides the convention, but so far what I've seen has been really fun, and everyone's just been so nice, and I appreciate it all.
Do you get mobbed in public? I mean, did people recognize you in public often from your earlier stuff? No.
I got recognized once at the movie theater after Love Actually, and that was the only time I ever got recognized. I actually, like, I never get recognized anywhere because no one unless you're a huge Trooper fan, like, you're not gonna know what I look like, because unless you Google me or something, like, because you want to know what the character looks like. But I was at the Apple store getting a new phone charger, and I was just talking to the guy, and he goes, really random question, do you work for Cartoon Network? And I said, yeah, how do you know that? He goes, your voice sounds like this character from Adventure Time, Marceline. And I was like, he literally, like, he recognized my voice, which was really weird, because usually people say it doesn't sound like me when I'm normally talking, but that was weird. That was definitely weird. But I thought it was really cool. I ended up calling. I was like, Mom, guess what? And she's like, what? I'm like, I just got recognized for my voice. And she's like, oh, cool. It's just like, that's cool. Like, okay.
Just trying to keep you down to earth. Yeah. Once again, I'd like to thank you on behalf of Kaleidoscope, and I'd like to thank you for coming. So if we could give, we're going to give her a round of applause. And I'm going
Susan Stringer, the lady that had the other one from yesterday.
Oh, well, I wish I could thank her, but I love it. So cute.
Thank y'all. We'll
Thank you
have
so much.
a sing-along next, and if not, we'll see you tomorrow.